Hi there. Welcome to the Rich Dimension, and I'm Chef Rich. I'm back with another video. So, for everybody who's tuned in, thank you, first of all. I'm not new to YouTube, but I am taking YouTube seriously, and I've decided to take some of my content, which I traditionally would have placed on platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I've decided to join the YouTube family. So thank you for tuning in. You can check out my other videos and hopefully we can go this channel together. So I'm Chef Rich again. I'm a singer, songwriter, an artist, as you know, paintings. I'm also a mommy and an entrepreneur, and I am very much into spirituality. I'm also from a Caribbean island known as St. Kitts. It is the smallest nation in the world with a population of about 50,000 people, and it's actually comprised of two islands. So it's St. Kitts and Nevis. It's the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I was born here, I grew up here, and I've lived majority of my life here except for a short time in my childhood where I lived in the US Virgin Islands. St. Kitts is very culturally rich. It's a beautiful place. And if you want to see me share elements of my life, the island and all of that, you can, follow along. So today I wanted to talk about my slow Saturdays or my weekends with intention. And one of the things that we do every Saturday, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I have a 6-year-old daughter and I also have a husband. And one of the things we do is we take her to dance class every Saturday, and it lasts about an hour. She has other classes and we homeschool, but this particular class on Saturday lasts about an hour. And sometimes you think, oh, it's just an hour, you're rushing. It used to be a big rush, a mad rush to get ready on a Saturday and to go over there, but now we've slowed it down. And I recorded one of our Saturdays, and in looking back at the footage, it really showed me just how fortunate my life was, or my life is. And it really showed me how even being able to have what we're calling a slow Saturday with my family is a privilege. And it really reminded me of why I do the things I do, of why we did the things we do. And so I'm hoping that this video will inspire persons who are thinking of, finding ways to especially leave the 9 to 5 or to slow down or to spend more time with family, and ways in which to capture the moments. Because a lot of the memories you'll have in life won't necessarily be from the grand moments, the fancy moments. A lot of them will be from the everyday, small, quaint little moments that you share with the people that mean most to you. My husband and I were just under a year of dating, and we decided that we wanted our freedom. Tired of this 9 to 5, of other people having say over our schedule and our lives. So we put several things in place, and he was able to leave his job first, and I left like maybe a year after. And in looking back, especially at this Saturday, I realized how we got what we wanted. Now, being an entrepreneur is not an easy thing. I know you hear people talk about it all the time. It is brutal. It can be very brutal. And in a small society where we have 50,000 people, no economies of scale, you have to be very creative. You have to keep reinventing yourself. And there will be major ups and downs, even as our economy has experienced ups and downs, especially during events like COVID. And so he left his job about 15 years ago. And ever since we have been doing business, our business has morphed into a lot of different versions. We are basically into food. We started with a pizza place called Kitaliano's, a mashup between Kittitian or St. Kitts and Italian, which is the originators of pizza. That did very well over the years. We kind of transformed. Right now we do a lot of manufacturing, where our products are now sold in the supermarket, and we don't necessarily sell food, like cooked food that we serve, but we produce goods that then go to the supermarket, and other restaurants tend to serve our food. One of our major products being our breadfruit fries. Just like the potato french fry, we have fruit here. It's called a breadfruit. It's very starchy when it's not ripe, and it is very similar in texture and flavor to a potato, but much bigger, like this bigger, and way more nutritious. And it's just a very versatile food. So that's one of our products. We make French fries from that, and it's sold. It's quite a bit of a novelty still, but it's sold in supermarkets around the island and restaurants. Some of the top restaurants, if I must say. But going through that, going through the ups and downs, the financial stresses, and even the rejection from family and friends, even if it was not outright rejection, you can tell, you can feel it. My mother used to say, nobody got to tell you your word, meaning when somebody's coming for you, even if they don't call your name, when you are being given an attitude. And so we've had to survive a lot of that. And because we've had to do so much adjusting and staying strong, sometimes the process, the journey, sorry, did seem very, very stressful, brutal, and sometimes, you wonder, why was I making the right decision? But in moments like these, when I'm able to look at our lives and the fact that we have the freedom to not only homeschool our daughter, I was able to breastfeed exclusively because I did not have a job to return to, and a boss, looking over my shoulder. I got to dictate when I would go out and do whatever, and I got to spend quality time with my daughter and do that sort of stuff. When I look at these things, I'm reminded that even though we've had financial issues, even though we've been judged and we've been ridiculed and we've been ostracized sometimes, our lives are amazing, and even more so because of this journey. And exactly what we wanted, the freedom to make our own schedules and be our own bosses and dictate what we do every single day, we've achieved it. And it was just like the other day we sat and we realized, hey, we've achieved it. I think sometimes we have a goal and consciously you think the goal is one thing until you realize subconsciously it was something else altogether. So because we weren't able to sustain the great financial freedom as yet, we felt that we were failing. But then when we stopped and look at it and realize even a lot of our peers who have more money and more material things, that they often don't have health, they don't have the peace, they're very stressed, and they definitely do not have time, and they do not have control over their own time, more specifically. And in realizing, hey, when we look at what was important to us back then and why we made the decision, we realized it was never the money. It was the freedom that we craved. It really was. And over the years, it has been such an adventure, such an amazing adventure. And I would not trade it for the world. It has built muscles in places that we never would have thought we would have gotten them. Have we been depressed? Yes. Have we wanted to give up at times? Yes. Have we been tired, exhausted? Yes. But that's the journey of life, and becoming more spiritual and learning a lot more about spirituality has revealed to us that no, our lives is not a mess. We're not failed. We've actually achieved that first major goal. And so now it's a time of reflection for us, and where we're able to make new goals and move on and achieve new goals. And this is the importance of gratitude again in life, because if we had not taken that moment to reflect and be thankful, we would have missed that very important step, that we would have achieved a major goal. And we've achieved it for quite a few years and did not realize, did not intentionally look at it in that way. And so, yes. So in this video, you're going to see an example of our slow Saturdays, where we get up and her class isn't until noon. So we get up and we linger and we usually chat and catch up, and we have breakfast. Our breakfasts are amazing, whereas most persons just grab cereal or grab something quick without thought. We're able to craft. Breakfast is like how some people have dinner, we have breakfast. So our breakfast is a spread. Oftentimes when friends come over and they see how we eat breakfast, they're very shocked and they want to be a part of it. And we make everything, I didn't mention, we're also gluten-free and dairy-free for the most part. So for us, It's not like we're having bread and usual stuff. We make everything from scratch. And we're able to do so because we have the time. Even if we don't always have the money, we have the time. So even when we don't have the money, we go out your car foraging. One of our best performing videos was us using the cactus, the Napoleon cactus, and cooking it with food. And the freedom and in some ways the lack of money has allowed us to be so to really put ingenuity into practice, to be inventive and to really discover a lot of things and to really be healthy, right? So when we're eating breakfast, we're taking our time, we're not rushing, we're able to digest our food, we're able to talk about our day, what we want to do. We usually sit down and my husband goes, so what are we doing today? And even that is such a luxury that many people don't have, the ability to say, what are we doing today? What am I doing today? And have that choice be yours. So she usually goes to class again around 12. And then after we drop her off, it's very close to what we call the Marriott Hotel. So we go over to the Marriott Hotel, and her class on Saturday is about an hour. So we usually just stay in the hotel and order the only things you can have, really. We have a coffee with oat milk, and we also have muffin. We used to have one each, but since I've been on my weight loss journey, I find that it's harder for me to consume the coffee. Like, I get really hyped really fast. So we've been sharing a coffee because it's so strong and nice. And I recently stopped eating my muffins. I just eat a pinch of my husband's muffin now because I'm trying to lose some of that baby weight, even though she's 6 now. But this hour allows us to just be with each other, and we've almost like developed a relationship with the staff there. They know we're gonna come in on a Saturday from around just after 12, and we're gonna have a coffee with oat milk, and we're gonna have a muffin, and we're gonna sit, and a lot of breeze comes into the foyer in that part of the Marriott, and we just have nothing else to do. We have nowhere to be, and it is amazing. So we just sit with each other and we chat. Sometimes I put my head on his shoulder. I might take a little 2-minute doze. He'll express things, and he's such an inventor. He's such a engineer. So sometimes he would be picking apart the furniture or something and reinventing something and being able to share it. And I love these moments because he gets so excited like a child. And that hour feels like 2 hours, to be honest. It's slow, it's deliberate, and it's quiet, and it's our time, because being parents who homeschool, we don't always have date time. And sometimes even in our bed, she has her own room, her own bed, but she's still not sleeping all night in her bed. If you know how to help me get that done, please let me know. So little moments like these, they're not grand. We're not in a 5-star restaurant. I don't have on a gown, but they mean so very much. And often tell people being an entrepreneur and going through these things has really humbled me. And they might think in our culture, when we say something humbling, it means it break you down, it bring you to your knees, it make you ashamed. I don't feel that way humbled. I'm humbled in the sense that it has really taught me to appreciate life in a different way and appreciate the little things. And even though it's carnival on the island, and I'm perfectly happy with enjoying the little moments. We do everything on our own schedule. Well, everybody got their turkey ready for Christmas. We still have ours there, and we're still discussing exactly how we want to, season it and create something from it. And sometimes we don't have a turkey. Sometimes we do something completely different. But we do what we want. You know that song, I Did It My Way? That's us. We do what we want, when we want, and how we want. And that is a privilege. So, back to the video again. After her dance class, we go and we pick her up, and we normally would run a 1 or 2 errand, but we don't make it fussy. Like, the week is for work, so weekends are errands, like fun errands, like if we want to buy a new pair of shoes, or we want to do something, go to and get some sugarcane juice or something like that from a stall or whatever. That's what we do. And so this week we went to another coffee shop, not for more coffee, but they just renovated, and we were just like, why not? We'll go and see. And we live in a very nice part of the island. It's in Frigate Bay, and it's very it just has this charm that we enjoy. A lot of persons from our background wouldn't necessarily probably want to live over here, but we do like it, and we like raising our daughter in this area because we can control a lot more what she's exposed to, and we can raise her with an abundance mindset, something that we were not raised with. And yeah, it's our Saturdays, and we come back home. Sometimes we stay out, sometimes we go driving, sometimes we visit friends, we stay out, sometimes we get home back in the evening, she's still in her dance clothes. Sometimes we go by another coffee shop that's owned by a friend. She loves coffee shops, don't ask. But there are spots in St. Kitts that, you know, they're quiet. You tend to see the same people passing through. So on Saturdays, we'll see some of our friends we haven't seen every week. So we'll go and sit. It's another one called Sweet and Savory. We'll sit there sometimes for hours, and different friends would come and go. Other persons come and sit for hours. Persons who didn't know about it realize we're there, and they would ask us, "You notice y'all always there? What is it about it?" It's great if you want to do work. The walls are white, but it's quaint. It's peaceful. The staff is amazing. The staff, they're very kind. They're not pushy. They don't make you feel like you're in their way. And you can get a variety of food items there. The owner is such a sweet lady, and she's into it. Like, to me, she's like into whimsical stuff. She does her macaroons and her cakes, and she does our gluten-free birthday cakes for everybody in the family, and it's decorated. She's so sweet. So her energy is really in the space. And a lot of our friends now go on their own because they would have met us there, fallen in love with the space as well, and now they'll come in. So on Saturdays, we'll see it's like a rotation of different people passing in and out. And by evening, we usually come back home, have something for dinner, and sometimes we don't even eat until in the night, and we don't realize. Not baby girl, eh? She eats throughout, okay? She has snacks and she stays eating. But we come home in the night and we'll sit, and with my daughter, I'm able to tuck her in every night. She says, "Come, I want huggies, mommy." She's 6, eh? She wants huggies, and I go, and we've been doing this forever, where I lie with her and we talk about the day. And we'll talk about how her class was, we'll go over the whole day, and she will explain what she didn't understand, what she understood, if she felt I was too hard on her during the day. Because she's going up there and she's telling me, "Mommy, you're being so hard on me now." I'm like, "I'm teaching you responsibility. I'm teaching you to be self-sufficient. You have to learn these lessons." But, you know, and we hug a lot. We exchange a lot of "I love yous," and we really connect in that way. And it's very important to me that she goes to sleep feeling very loved and secure and able to express herself, talk about the day, and if we had any situations she didn't understand, I'm able to go over it with her and to clarify any misunderstandings she might have had. And when she wakes up in the morning, it's a similar ritual, meaning that I try to wake her up never with criticism or anger. I went through that as a child. In our culture, our parents, if they have a punishment for you, licks as we call it, they tend to wake you up out of your sleep with the drama. So you might wake up being beaten, or you might wake up with cussing. And I always found that that really threw me off for the rest of the day. It really was, it made me unable to regulate my emotions properly. And it was just fucking with me majorly. And so I've decided not to do that to my daughter. So usually when she gets up, if I'm not even in the room with her, she would find me and she'd come and we'd hug, and she'd say good morning, and she'd hug her dad, and we'd be like, "How are you? How was your sleep? What did you dream about?" And she would tell us. And her mornings are very slow. Her mornings are very calm, and it's usually followed up right away by, "I'm hungry." But yes, so I just wanted to share this vlog and to also attach this note to talk about being intentional in your life, to talk about not competing or comparing your life with other people, because what works for them may not work for you. And it can be easy, and the world is so judgmental, and it will make you feel like you're failing. But your timeline is yours, and you don't have to follow other people's patterns. You know, as I said, because we live such a slow life, we're able to be much healthier. We're able to not age as fast. We're able to make a lot more memories, and the things we've created, right? The inventions, the products that we've come up with. You know, we recently were recipients of a major grant that's going to come online soon, and none of this would have been possible if we didn't go through the things we went through, if we were not able to have the luxury of slowing down and thinking, right? There's a reverend called Reverend Ike, and I really love his sermons, and one of the things he always said is, to get yourself out of hell, you have to think your way out. No savior, nobody's gonna come and take you out of hell. You have to think your way out. And coming from lower income families, coming from a small island, there's not a lot of thinking that people do. You more react, you fit yourself into the culture, you find a spot in society, you work your ass off, and you hope that you have something at the end of your life. But we really wanted more. We wanted to do major things, and we will do even more major things than we've already done, and we've done a lot. And so it just shows us that that's my daughter in the background. She's trying her best to be quiet and throwing down everything. But anyways, you want to say hi? You want to say hi?
Hi.
Aww. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to get more of the Rich Dimension, why is it the Rich Dimension? Because I am Chef Rich, I'm Siobhan Richards, and this is my world, this is my dimension, this is my journey. You know, I straddle so many aspects of life creatively, and if you want to see more, if you want to go to this channel with me, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be uploading videos every week. My goal is to do at least 2 per week. So stick around and subscribe and enjoy. My little vlog is not a selfish vlog. I've explained it. Hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you find ways to slow your life down and to really capture the moments and to be deliberate in every single thing you do and every moment of your life, and to have that time with your family and friends. Thank you. outside. Go on in.